It has now been 10.5 years since Susan Atkins was convicted of murdering actress Sharon Tate and 4 other people in the so-called Manson family murders. Miss Atkins, now 33 years old and serving a life term, has reportedly become a Christian, and tomorrow she will be married in a prison chapel at Frontera. The groom, Texas millionaire Donald Leisure, claims he met Atkins 16 years ago while taking pictures along a California freeway. After tomorrow's wedding, the couple will spend 72 hours alone together in a visiting unit at the prison. This infuriates the man who prosecuted Atkins.
Susan Atkins is one of the most bloodthirsty murderesses that I have ever come across in 14 years in the DA's office. And why anyone would want to marry her, especially someone who is supposedly a millionaire, I just don't understand it. I don't believe she's ever going to get out of prison. I'm going to do my best to see that she's never paroled. She's up for her 4th parole hearing on the 16th of this month.
Donald Leisure has boasted that he has enough money and political connections to win a pardon for Susan Atkins, even if it means going to the White House. Leisure, who is 52, is not one of those quiet millionaires. He uses a dollar sign when spelling his name. Leisure's wealth is reportedly inherited. This week, Leisure has been staying in the San Bernardino County town of Ontario, telling people that Fidel Castro has sent him a wedding present. He talked to a local reporter.
He said he reads people psychically, especially Susan, because he loves Susan. And he said he can feel from her, because he's feeling what she's feeling, that she did not commit any of the murders. He fully believes that Susan Atkins didn't murder anybody.
Why is he marrying her?
He loves her. He says that she is the only woman he's ever really loved.
At the California Institute for Women, Susan Atkins still isn't allowed to mix with other inmates for fear that someone will harm her. Atkins has been learning secretarial skills here. Incidentally, Donald Leisure says he would gladly face a firing squad without a blindfold if the state would only agree to release his bride-to-be. From Ontario, Doug Kriegel, News Center 4. As he waited to get married this morning, Donald Leisure was in high spirits, showing off the Texas flag and joking with friends at his hotel in San Bernardino County. Leisure claims to be a billionaire from Texas. He's not one of those quiet money types. His car is full of Texas millionaire paraphernalia. Also on the car is a picture of his bride, Manson family member Susan Atkins, now 33 years old. Miss Atkins was originally given the death penalty for the murder of 5 people, but her sentence was commuted to life. Atkins has been in custody since 1969. Her husband says she's innocent.
Susan is not the girl she was before. She's a different woman. She's changed. And besides, she's not guilty. She's not guilty in the eyes of God. She's not guilty in the eyes of me, because I know she isn't. But even if she was guilty, it would make no difference to me, because I love her.
Leisure also has pictures of other women on his car, but he claims Susan Atkins is the only woman he ever really loved. His Cadillac has 4 CB radios, 4 shortwave sets, and 2 mobile telephones, just in case he wants to contact someone quickly, he says. Leisure is constantly flashing a wad of $100 bills. At least the top bill is $100, but how rich is he really?
Are you a billionaire? I don't know. You take 999 million and you add a million to it, and what have you got?
A billion. Have you got a billion?
Well, I would hate to stop short even at a billion. I think I could cover that easy.
You mean you could write a check for $1 billion?
I don't write checks, sir. No, sir. Depending on who you are, if I show that kind of money, you would have to be somebody who owed that kind of money too. A cash transaction like Howard Hughes used to make at the airport, in the middle of the night.
Before going to the prison wedding, Leisure toasted his bride. He claims to have met Miss Atkins 16 years ago in California. Leisure also says he's been married 28 times, but it's hard to know where the tall story really ends and the Texan begins. An hour later, Donald Leisure's wedding party arrived at the California Institute for Women at Frontera. Prison officials today said the couple would not be able to spend the night together for 3 months, when space for a conjugal visit would be made available. Leisure said he's anxious to be alone with his bride, but he can wait. The 52-year-old Texan has vowed that he will help get his wife out of prison. He says they plan to have children, and off he went into the prison to get married for the 29th time. From Frontera in San Bernardino County, Doug Kriegel, News Center 4. Here are first pictures from the prison wedding of convicted murderess Susan Atkins and Texan Donald Lee Leisure. The couple reportedly held the Texas flag during the ceremony. Leisure claims he designed the bride's wedding dress. He claims it cost him $6,000. Of all the Manson family women, Susan Atkins on the left was considered the most curious. Initially, she confessed to murdering 5 people, but now, at the age of 33, she's disavowing that confession.
God knows my heart. He knows I didn't kill anybody, and Donald Lee Leisure, Sr., knows my heart and knows that I didn't kill anybody, and that's all that matters to me.
What about Charles Manson?
I don't like to talk about him. He's part of my life that I wish never had happened. And I can't talk about it.
Does he control you?
No. Thank God, no. Not at all.
Why did she go wrong?
Kids my age, 17, 18 years old at that time, with the drugs and the drug culture, it was an exciting thing, you know, and I just got caught up in it. Got caught up and carried away. I think everybody that was into the drug scene in the late 60s was really looking for acceptance and love and wanted, they were tired of double standards, they were tired of hypocrisy as I was, and they wanted truth. Well, truth has been said it's relative to what you want, but there is a real truth. And I just got caught up in a big lie.
Miss Atkins' husband is Donald Lee Leisure. He's sort of a professional Texan.
I swear to God, I love her. I'm in love with her. I always have been for 15 years, and she has been with me. And we want to get married, and I love her, and that's all I want to do. That's my primary commitment to life, getting married to her, having children with her, and getting her out of executive clemency.
Ms. Atkins has now served 10.5 years at the California Women's Prison in San Bernardino County. Later this month, she'll have a parole hearing, but Ms. Atkins Leisure is not expected to be released. Incidentally, her husband, Donald Lee Leisure, may claim to be a billionaire, but people in his hometown of Greenville, Texas, say Leisure lives in a one-room apartment and has no visible means of support. In fact, one man said Leisure is the town joke.
In the meantime, what Susan
Doug Kriegel, News Center 4.
Projection.
I have no illusions about the parole board's position in giving me a parole date, and I do not expect a parole date at this time. Not from the parole board of the state of California. It's no secret my co-defendant has exonerated me from actually taking anyone's life. I'm here because I lied. I'm here because I was an accessory to murder.
The totality of the offenses almost defies description. The callous, dispassionate, calculated series of shootings, stabbings, beating, and mutilations indicated a total disregard for human life or suffering. Through the institution adjustment, a careful weighing of the prisoner's institution adjustment, including the new documents that were presented at this hearing today, while showing gradual improvement over the years since reception, do not approach outweighing the number, gravity, and timing of the commitment offenses.
We argue that the gravity of the offense is not outweighed. It does not outweigh the institutional gain she's made. The gravity of the offense is a lot less in terms of her culpability than the institutional gains.
Would you have been surprised if the finding were any different?
Oh, I would have been shocked. I probably would have fallen out of my chair. I expected this finding. It's the right finding. It's proper based on the facts, and I think the public is going to be very happy that Susan Atkins is not going to be out among us.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you this morning? How are you? Good. You happy?
Laws in their state.
So much emphasis has been placed on just Manson. Manson was not in the house at the time, so what sort of individuals would commit such a horrendous crime?
Do you want to block then any possibility for any of them to get out?
Absolutely.
Let me just ask you, would you like that individual to be paroled even 10 years from now and have him live next door to you? We don't have the right to state absolutely this individual is going to be rehabilitated, nor he's not going to be rehabilitated. But we don't want to take that experiment into our own hands, and neither does anybody else have the moral right to conduct that experiment in our neighborhoods.
And one of them said, very quickly, we think we have her body, yes. Bingo.
Parents of murdered children. The name speaks for itself. These are people from the Los Angeles area whose children have been murdered. They discuss common problems. Today's guest speaker was Doris Tate, mother of Sharon Tate, the actress killed by Manson family members. Charles Manson was convicted of killing Sharon Tate and 6 others during a 1969 murder spree on 2 consecutive nights in Los Angeles. 3 women, Susan Atkins, Patricia Krenwinkel, and Leslie Van Houten, were also convicted of the murders. Now that all of these people have regular parole hearings, Mrs. Tate is furious.
I don't even feel like they should be allowed to come up for parole every year after 7 years. I feel that the punishment does not fit the crime.
How do you mean?
They are turned loose and they are free, right? And my daughter is still dead. Dead is dead.
At today's meeting, Mrs. Tate urged the other parents of murdered children to get involved and make sure that killers of their children do not get paroled. At one point, Mrs. Tate referred to Charles Tex Watson, one of the Manson family members who killed Sharon Tate.
Why did they do this? There's no answer. And that's what I said, I would like to know why Watson killed my daughter. And I said, you know what, that's very stupid. Because he can't tell me why.
There's no answer.
Later this year, 4 members of the Manson family, including Charles Manson himself, will have parole hearings. Sharon Tate's mother has vowed to work to prevent Manson family members from being paroled. From the Wilshire District, Doug Kriegel, News Center 4.
I have no way of telling whether that this is a man who calls himself Zodiac, but I know it's a man who needs help very badly.
What kind of a man do you feel from this briefing?
I think a man that's sick. I think a man that's going into a storm, and it squares away with the pattern of the man. From what objectively we know that Zodiac did.
Legally, how can you help him though, Mel?
Oh, heavens, with the doctor, the people that have called in here that want to give him medical help, he's not going to go to trial until we know that this man is a human being in front of a judge. In other words, he's got to get his headaches cured. That this man, objectively, without even seeing him, I think any psychiatrist would say that this man is sick, sick, sick. So now Jim and I got to talk about what we've gotten into about meeting him here. Whether he's there or not, I don't know. But I know that this fellow is going to call again if he doesn't meet out there.
Were all of the calls from the same person, or do you feel there were some cranks?
Not only were they all that we heard on the air from the same person, but the one time that I talked to him privately with no one listening in, no question but what that was the same voice.
By himself as a Zodiac killer.
Yes,
Yeah?
the first call, Mel suggested, said something to the effect that it was difficult to talk to somebody named Zodiac, so that he want to call himself something else. And if I remember, Mel said, you want to call yourself Sam or Henry or
Peter or something, and he immediately answered,
He said,
Sam,
that's
and that's the reason
significant.
now we got to call him Sam.
Why can you not make any promises to the man through July? Why can you not make any promises